Everybody, we are going to start the awards. So for those of you in the back, Sickfish and Deal and Power Sports, you're welcome to come up this way. We're going to get the awards going. First thing I want to say is a big thank you to all of our volunteers, all of our members, all of our bike show attendees and people that brought bikes. We want to keep this going. We can't do it without you. So thank you for coming, and we'll get started. My name is Chris Heck. I'm the show chairman of the Class 2 British Motorcycle Club of Cincinnati. I'm joined to my left by Casey Cooper, our president, and Freddie Brock, our vice president.
You got no close to working.
So we're gonna get going. Everybody hear me okay? All right, great. We're going to start with our award of distinction. This is sponsored by Harkey's Motorsports and Ducati of Cincinnati. This gentleman came to the show, has been to the show before, but first time he brought a bike and he was taking kids around in his sidecar rig. Edmund Hooker, 1958 PSA A10 Gold Flash. We had a lot of really nice unrestored British bikes this year. We wanted to recognize that bike because he was so gracious to bring it. It's not an easy rig to bring, and it was a big hit taking the kids around. Congratulations, Ed. We're going to get your photo real quick. We'll move this along.
Okay. I had a ball. I had a ball, guys. Thanks.
You're welcome, man. Thank you for bringing the bike. All right, next we have 500 class, European 71 to 95, first place. This is sponsored by Heindel Engineering. Dave or John, do you want to come up? Are you around? All right, here's John. John's going to hand the award off. Our winner is a 1986 Moto Guzzi V65 TT. All right, Enzo Miller. I have never seen one of those bikes in person. I didn't even know they existed. It's an Italian dirt bike from the 80s. Enzo, thanks for bringing that, buddy. Look over, scoot over a little bit more towards the center. Yeah, there you go. Thank you. Enzo, if you want to stay right here, you can give your award back to Fred and he can hold it for you. All right, 400 class, second place, European to 1970. This is sponsored by Cadre Cycle and Moto Guzzi of Cincinnati, of which Enzo is the owner. Second place, 1966 Vespa Sprint 150, Bob Piper. Bob's coming up with his grandson. Congratulations. First place, European 1970, also sponsored by Cadre Cycle and Moto Guzzi Cincinnati. 1958 Moto B Imperial Sport 125 Steve Duffy. Congratulations, Steve. All right, next up we got European Unrestored. This is the first place, sponsored by Harkey Motorsports and Ducati of Cincinnati. This is just an amazing, cool bike over there to my right. 1954 Moto Guzzi Super Alce. .500cc, that's the dual seat military bike over there, Enzo Miller. Enzo, I really appreciate you sponsoring the classes you didn't enter bikes in. Now, we're a big family here, and trust me, we judge all these bikes individually. And so that was a little joke, but for real, we take this very seriously. So, Best European, sponsored by Cadre Cycle and Moto Guzzi of Cincinnati. 1967 BMW R69S Jim Jar. You guys want to scoot over just a hair? Thank you. All right, we are moving on to American. 800 class, American 1971 to 1995, first place. This is sponsored by Indian of Northern Kentucky. 1980 Harley Davidson Electric Glide, Dan Wisher.
No, that was, yeah, that was, yeah.
All right, 700 class, American to 1970. This is sponsored by Deal Insurance. Eric or Karen, you want to come on up? We got Eric, Deal of Deal Insurance. If you need a motorcycle or power sports insurance, or even home or auto, you see them, they will take care of you. Second place, 1964 Cushman Silver Eagle. Glennie, are you here? All right, we'll set that aside for now. First place, 700 class, American to 1970, sponsored by Deal Insurance. 1956, Harley Davidson FL, Jason Morgan. Just an awesome machine, Panhead. American Unrestored, first place. Got here late, came all the way back from Iowa. He was at the Anamosa auction yesterday. You saw putting around on this very antique motorcycle, 1913 Excelsior, 4 horsepower, belt drive, 4B dump. Look at that. This is also sponsored by Indian and Northern Kentucky. Congratulations, Don. Thank you for bringing that. Is Brad Need here? Brad, come on up. Best American. This is sponsored by Brad Need at the Bike Shop. 1956 Harley Davidson FL, Jason Morgan. And just to let you know, folks, we try to maximize the amount of awards that we give to individuals that bring bikes. We had not been so many American bikes this year, so if you got an American vintage motorcycle made before 1995 or even after 1995 for American or modern classics class, please bring it, show it off. We'd love to see it. All right, we're moving on to Japanese. Chad Francis, do you jump on the stage? 1100 class, Japanese 1971 to 95, second place, sponsored by Retro Wrench, Louisville, Chad Francis. Big supporter of ours, swaps and swap meet. 1974 Kawasaki H1, Dan Wittenberg. Yeah. First place, sponsored by Retro Wrench. 1990 Honda NS50, Bob Piper. Tom Bellamy still here by chance? I know he was here earlier. I think he left. All right, moving on to 1000 class Japanese to 1970, second place, sponsored by Beachmont Motorsports. 1969 Honda S90 Sport. Bob, don't go too far. You're back up. Bob Piper. Bob brought 4 bikes, and they're all amazing as usual. So bring your bikes, folks. First place, 1000 class, Japanese to 1970, sponsored by Beachmont Motorsports. 1966 CB77 Superhawk, Barry Schoenberger. Barry also brings a lot of bikes, and they're also excellent. One of the toughest classes that we had as far as just quality of bikes and number of bikes, and there's only a first place for Japanese unrestored. This was a tough call. So 1983 GL650 Bob Howard, sponsored by Beachmont Motorsports. Bob Howard, come on up. You rode that here, didn't you? Always love to see that. And to round out our Japanese, best Japanese, sponsored by Beachmont Motorsports. 1966 Honda CB77 Superhawk, Barry Schoenberger. John Stout. John, get off the phone. Get up here. All right, moving on to competition. This is competition to 95, sponsored by Stout Cycles and Beta USA. Second place,
Oh, sorry.
1968 Greaves Angeli. How do you say that, buddy? Anglian. I promise I went to school. 1968 Greaves Anglian 250 Freddie Brock. Second place. First place, 2000 class competition to 95, sponsored by Stout Cycles and Beta USA. 1962 Tuhatsu Run Pet Sports Scrambler, Barry Schoenberger. Can I get John Heiner back up? Our newest class that started a couple years ago is the 3000 class Modern Classics. We wanted to allow people that had bikes newer than 95 to bring them out, show them off, put them in one class called Modern Classics.
Congratulations.
Second place, sponsored by Heindel Engineering and Ural Sidecar Motorcycles. 2000 Victory V92C, William Marlar. And just as he's walking up, another note, if you got a bike newer than 95, bring it out. Need more bikes in our class. 3000 class, Modern Classics 96 and newer, also sponsored by Heidel Engineering and Ural Sidecar Motorcycles. 2012 Triumph Street Triple RX. Zach Warner also rode this bike in. Now, Zach, you said that's a 1 of 1 or something like that? Congratulations. Sick Fish guys, where are you guys at? Come on up, or whoever wants to come up. Jason Bass and his guys at Sick Fish, they're right down the road in Burlington. If you're into custom bikes, radical bikes, you want to have some fun, these guys have been coming out the last 3 years. We appreciate their support. They have a nice setup over there. Go get some merch. Custom, this is all year. So if you got a custom bike at home, there's no vintage restriction on this. This is any year motorcycle. Second place, sponsored by Sick Fish Motorcycles, 1947 Harley Davidson Knucklehead, Ivan Snodgrass. Really appreciate you bringing that bike out, Ivan. First place custom, sponsored by Sick Fish, 1975 Harley Davidson custom, Michael Yout.
All right.
Guys, go take a look at these bikes, man. They have just amazing detail, unique. That's what custom's all about. All right, we're getting into British, then we're going to do best of. I know this takes a little while, but I appreciate everybody's patience. 300 class, British 71 to 95. This is sponsored by Triumph Cincinnati. Can we get Les up here? Second place. 1975 Norton Commando. 850 Monty Turner. This is sponsored by Rally Cincinnati Power Sports Store. Monty, are you here? Oh, there he is. 300 class, 71 to 95 British, sponsored by Triumph Cincinnati, Power Sports Store, 1973 Norton Commando, Ron Norton. He fired this thing up yesterday. This is a performance motorcycle, vintage motorcycle. Right there, alloy tank. Ron joined the club this weekend. Appreciate you bringing that, Ron. 200 class, British 63 to 70, second place. This is sponsored by Humphrey Cycle Shop. 1966 Triumph TR6 SR, Chris Peary. Chris might be packing up, but oh, there he is. Chris has been coming the last 4 or 5 years. Great swap spot. If you need stuff, see him. 200 class, first place, sponsored by Humphrey Cycle Shop. 1965 Triumph TR6 SR, Jim Jard. This bike is the gold bike with the windshield over there. It's got all the factory tri-core accessories, so if you're into Triumphs, take a look at that.
Surprise.
100 class British to 62. These are the early ones. This is sponsored by Retro Wrench. Chad.
Thank you very much.
Second place, sponsored by Retro Wrench Louisville, Chad Francis. 1957 Triumph TRW 500, Charles Rice. I think John Stout's going to accept the award on his behalf. These are not a very commonly seen motorcycles, that green military Triumph side valve. Don't see them very often. First place, British to 62, sponsored by Retro Wrench. 1920 Douglas W20, Tim O'Connor. Believe it or not the oldest bike here, but certainly one of the coolest. That bike's 103 years old, people. Alright, British Unrestored. First place, Retro Wrench sponsor. 1948 BSA B31, Steve Duffy. Steve brought 3 bikes, all very nice, and we're going to have them stay up on the stage. We're going to get into our best of awards. This is the best of the rest. This is the Jim Dumont Award. This is for a British motorcycle that isn't a Triumph, BSA, or Norton. So not of the big 3. Again, this is the Jim Dumont Memorial Award. This is sponsored by Indian of Northern Kentucky and Royal Enfield. 1955 Velocette LE, Steve Duffy. Yeah. Wes Norton, the Eldon Pitts Memorial Award. This is sponsored by Deal Insurance. 1953, Norton, Big Four, Barry Schoenberger. All right, next up we got Best BSA, sponsored by Chad Francis, Retro Wrench Louisville. I am not sure if he's back. No, not Chad, the winner. This is an amazing machine, guys. 1957 BSA Gold Star Clubman Brian Keene. Brian, did you make it back? Brian's a new member of the club. You might have seen this bike also at Garage Brood if you were there in January. No, I think you're good. Les, need you one more time. Thank you. All right, Best Triumph. This is sponsored by Rally Cincinnati and the Power Sports Store. 1952 Triumph Thunderbird, Al Seal.
On my way down.
Brad Need you one more time. All right, this is we have 3 more awards, folks. Thumbs Up Award. This is a non-club bike. I guess. Wait. Cool. All right. Thumbs Up Award, non-club bike of distinction, sponsored by Brad Need and the Bike Shop. 1945, Famous James, Frank Collins. Even has the t-shirt. All right, our People's Choice Award. This is sponsored by Superior Auto Body and Collision up in Trotwood. If you need some paint work on your motorcycle or automobile, classic car, they are an excellent resource. This is the Butch Foley Memorial Award. This was voted on by everyone that came through that put a vote in the box. We had quite a few votes this year. Everyone participated, I think, even more than usual. This was a runaway. 1967 BMW R69S, Jim Jar.
Long distance award.
All right, Eric Deal. Sorry, I need you one more time. All right, the moment you all been waiting for. Best of show. We had a lot of perfectly scored bikes this year. Some nice examples. This was by far the best. Jim, stay right there. Best of show, 1967 BMW R69S. sponsored by Geo Insurance. We got a silver platter for you. Casey's gonna get it out of the box eventually. Here you go. Give me a knife. Probably gotta unwrap that first. My bad. Congratulations, Jim. All right, folks. My name is again Chris Heck. I'm the show chairman of the Classic British Motorcycle Club of Cincinnati Vintage Motorcycle Rally. Thank you all for coming. I hope you had a good time. We're going to keep doing this as long as people keep coming and bringing bikes and vendors. Please continue to support vintage motorcycling and this great hobby. Have a great rest of your weekend. Hooray!